Good morning. Right here at my parents today. I'm gonna get this raked up and get it baled. 7 acres here, so this is my biggest field. It don't sound like a lot, but to me it is. Not used to this big of a field yet. So yesterday when I was raking, what happens is it starts pulling out that new cutting. You know, there's all of a sudden there's green strands of grass in my dry windrow. So in order to raise that up, I'm gonna change my donut here on my cylinder. Just gonna take the smallest one off and go up to the next size. I have a whole pack here if I need to adjust that one way or the other, but we're gonna give this a try and see if that'll help me out. I think that adjustment on the rake, I think it's better. I might want to try just a little bit more. Like if you look down in here, this here, I don't think this has been just laying on the ground. I think this was part of the regrowth and the rake's just straight up pulling it out of the ground. So I don't know. I think I'm just gonna try the next size up donut and give that a whirl. I think the last adjustment for this field is just a little bit too much. You can see after I just got done double raking these 2 windrows, you can see all that hay that was left here on the upper side. So basically, just because I'm on this hill and I'm not level, when I'm going across these bumps, this field's pretty rough, and it's just picking up that one side of the rake, the upside of the rake, just a little bit too much. But this is that extra material that I'm talking about that I wouldn't be getting. I mean, that's a decent amount when you look at, you know, 100, 200 foot of it. So I don't have much to go, as you can see, till I get off of this hill right here and get up to the level. But just as quick of a change as it is, I'm just gonna take that last big donut off and go back to the slightly smaller one for now. So I just wanted to take a second and explain to some of those out there that don't know why I'm sometimes taking one windrow and doing that rake and a half, or sometimes I'm taking 2 windrows and making them into one. And I just want to show you exactly what the limitations to that are. So basically, for these past I don't know, 4 or 5 windrows, I've been doing a windrow and a half. Now that I'm up here on the flat, you can see you can't see a lot of green. So after I tedded, you know, that is just that much thicker. So the yield is getting better up here, and this row here will probably be my last time doing a rake and a half. There's just a limitation on this style V-rake that prevents you from you know, not having any issues. So here's what happens is when this windrow of hay gets so tall, since these wheels are behind these brackets, you can see that hay right there getting close to that. So even as I started going down this windrow, that's what got me thinking about it and wanting me to show you guys. Basically, what that ball of hay is gonna pile up right here in front of this wheel, and basically at that point you're just round baling hay. It's just gonna start rolling itself, and man, it's a pain in the butt. There's nothing left to do at that point but pick up the rake, back up, and start throwing globs of hay by hand and straightening out your windrow manually, or If it's that big of a mess, you can take the front loader on your tractor if you have it and push it back. But that's the limitation to this style V-rake and the amount of material that you can put through it. It's these brackets right here. Now for those bigger farmers that can afford what's called a high capacity rake, the wheels on the rake end up being in front of the brackets. So you can stack that hay up as tall as the wheel on the rake, and they can get a whole lot bigger windrow, especially when they're round baling hay, and they can take in all that capacity, all that volume of hay. But for us just small square balers, these are this is more than enough hay to keep that thing plunging and to keep those bales uniform. Got the baler over here, got it all hooked up, looked over everything, made sure there wasn't anything hanging off of it or any loose bolts or anything like that. So everything looked good. We just pulled out here to the field, just gonna take a quick look at the hay here, see what it's like. Oh yeah, you hear that? Sounds like money. Oh yeah, didn't even have to try. That's some beautiful dry hay. We're up here on the flats, which was actually the last of it that I raked this afternoon. But as you can see, even how high the sun is up here behind me, that first windrow that I raked off of that tree line is actually already in the shade. So that right there has had about all the dry time it's gonna have today. And I'm gonna start here, up here on the flats in the middle, and work my way that way after I take off the end row. So without any further ado, let's get started. So that was Ross, and I'm having this issue with, I got you guys upside down, hang on. I'm having this issue here where the left side of the bale is longer than the right side. And Ross is saying that has to do with how thin the hay is, and it is a lot thinner. He's right about that. So he said there's two different adjustments that we can do here. We can move this feeder bar, these fingers back, so we're not feeding so much hay over there on the left side. It's so thin, it's just shoving all of it over to that left side, and that would make that longer. And the other thing is these adjustments right here, these 3 bolts, and you see how those are all slotted. We can take this whole feeder house wall and push that forward. Same thing with this side here. You can angle it one way or another. And then the last one here is this bolt here, which is that little triangle piece in there. So essentially we're just going to be moving that whole feeder house wall right there and try to manipulate how the hay is being fed. So I don't know what to try here first. I think I'm just going to try moving the finger first, and we'll try and pump out, you know, half a dozen bales and see if that does anything. Okay, from this bracket for the front feeder teeth to the back of this one here is 9 inches right now. Let's try moving that back. Took that to 13 inches. Moved it back 4 inches. I'm trying to think of the width of the bale. I didn't think an inch or two would be a big deal, but we'll see. I think it's helped. This side's still longer, but I don't think it's as long. Let's check the weight. I might move it just a little bit more and see. 55. Back it off a couple. Moved it over 2 more inches. 49. I like that. Goes off because this side is still longer. Let's look at a bale here. Still see that this driver's side's a little bit longer here. And we'll run back to this other bale. Still there, not as bad. You know, I ended up just moving the center fork back another 2 inches. So I think that was 10 inches so far. And this side over here, I ended up evening this side up with this one, because actually on the chamber side, it was actually an inch forward than it was already here on the feeder side. So you know, I think it's helped, but as you can see, I still got a long ways to go, so can't nitpick at this point. 135 bales. Yikes. That is not good. It seems like there's more out there. I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, all the way from there, down there, around. I don't know. I mean, over 48 bales is what it said. At my place, it ended up being 52. So if it's 4 off every 50, you know, I can't see that it was 10 bales off, you know. I was hoping for at least 200, but if it was 135, my phone's dead. But 135 over 7 acres, I mean, that's not even 20 bales to the acre. There's got to be more than that here, but we'll count them when we start putting them on the trailer. It's only 5 o'clock right now. Actually, that baler got a rolling. I kicked it up a gear. I was running in B2, which I've only ran that thing in B1 before, and a lot of the time I only run in A3. So I was getting her pretty good, but she was knocking them out. I had one, the right knotter, that's the one that's been hanging up on me. It hung up on like one of the first 10 bales, and then one way down there was like one of the last 10 bales. So over, you know, 120 bales, it only hung a knot on that right one twice. So there's a adjustment that's just, yeah, it's that far off. So, but man, I'm super happy. I'm pumped that I've not had that much fun squaring on that thing. That's funny. I remember that from my last video. Now we don't go rolling, we go squaring. Oh gosh, that's terrible. I'm laughing at my own joke. But anyways, everything went good. I did text my help and told them they can come anytime, so I think they'll be here. We'll start picking up. Ross is baling also down at his place, and he says he's got a buttload of hay. So we'll see if we can get all this stuff done here, see what he's into, and maybe we can even hop in the truck with the trailer and head on down there and give him a hand. There goes Ross. He just got done baling. Got Old Glory hanging off the back of the New Holland 326. Ain't that a beautiful sight, ladies and gentlemen? Look at that. Look at him back there. He's filming too. He's gonna be on my channel. I'm gonna be on his. We're like famous, you know.